What's up, Ragin Nation? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review Transformers Reboot Edition. Now, I mentioned maybe a month ago that I would tell you how I would direct the Transformers Reboot because a lot of people commented saying that I should direct the Transformers Reboot. Now, I don't know how I would personally direct it yet, like visually, but I do have some scenes in my mind and how I would have them look, like as a movie. However, story-wise, I have a few plot points that I'd like to share with you. In fact, I have a whole list of them. I wrote it all down. And well, I didn't write it all down. I typed it all out. So in no particular order, I'm just gonna throw out some plot points, okay? And this is all I came up with. There could be more later on, but these are the main points. So it would start off with an opening sequence in Cybertron where the Autobots are escaping a war-ravaged Cybertron in the middle of a Decepticon battle. And then years later, we don't actually see the arc coming down to Earth. It just goes years later, and then the Autobots are hiding, you know, because they're in their alt modes. All of them have already been hiding on Earth. The main character, you know, the Sam character, or the Spike rather, the boy should actually look younger, but not necessarily be that much younger. For example, he should just be maybe a few months away from being old enough to drive. So what is that, like 16, 17? So he shouldn't be as old as Shia, and his name should be Spike, and his best friend should be Chip, who's a bit of a nerd. Chip should be a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I was thinking that there should be a girl, but then I don't want it to be the same story where the guy uses a car to get the girl. If there is a girl, I want her to be named Sorry, just like in the animated series, because I want them to use characters that were actually in the lore. It is actually Spike's close friend who is Asian, and I want them to be friends from before so that we're not focused on the story of Spike trying to get her. So the introduction of Bumblebee will be that his dad has already bought the car and is just waiting for him in his garage. He knows about the car, but he's not allowed to drive it until a few weeks later when his birthday arrives. And there's a scene where he shows Chip and he says, "Oh, that's my new car, and I'm gonna be able to drive it in a few weeks." So that's basically the foundation of the story. Now I'm just gonna throw out like a whole bunch of just scenes and little story ideas and see what you think of it. So the final battle should be a freeway chase. Spike is captured in a Decepticon, like in a Stunticon. He's in the seat of a Stunticon, he's strapped in, so he can't get out. Bumblebee has to rescue him. The main thing about the movie is the bond between Bumblebee and Spike, and there is a final battle that needs a moment where Bumblebee is the only one who can rescue Spike. And I want to see these robots transforming into vehicle modes and back into robot modes and back to vehicle modes while in action, while at high speeds. In the Michael Bay movies, we've only clearly seen vehicles transform into robots, while in action it's not the other way around. Maybe we'll see that in the third movie. In the first movie, you don't see a whole lot of them just going walking, you know, in robot mode and then into vehicle mode. We don't see a whole lot of that. I also want the damage issue to be addressed. Like, when the robots are damaged in battle, it should affect how they look when they transform back to vehicle mode. I want there to be 5 Autobots and 6 Decepticons, and not one of them are drones. The Autobots will be Optimus, Bumblebee, Prowl, Cliffjumper, and Hound. For Decepticons, it'll be Megatron, Starscream, Skywarp, and 3 Stunticons: Dead End, Dragstrip, and Motormouth. So, I mean Motormaster. And the story is not about an energy source or an alien artifact that'll, you know, that has magical properties. It is about the discovery of the space bridge, and it was found by archaeologists many years ago, but it still functions. They need the space bridge to call down Megatron because the Autobots want to use it to go home, but the Decepticons want to use it to bring back their army so that they can infest Earth and use up all of Earth's resources. They've been dormant for many years because the Autobots know that Decepticons are trying to hunt them down, like remaining Autobots, but there are only so few of them. They need the space bridge to call down Megatron because they know that he's the only one who can defeat Optimus Prime. Of course, with an alien invasion in a realistic setting, there has to be the military, and they're, you know, no matter if you want them or not, The military has to be there. There will be military, but they're absolutely useless because they don't know how to deal with this kind of alien threat. So the military don't know anything about this, unlike the first movie. They won't know how to deal with it, and the Autobots will warn them to stay back because they are no match for them, and human weapons do not work on them at all. They have to be killed by the brute force of energy weapons from Cybertron. There will be a lot of action sequences that are very reminiscent of G1. And for example, you would have scenes of Bumblebee, for example, and Starscream shooting at him like on a road, like like that, okay? That is a really cool scene. Like I said, the final battle will be a giant car chase on a freeway that they would have to build from scratch, just like the Matrix Reloaded, so that they could spend like 2 months doing nothing but freeway stunts. Because it would be too inconvenient to close off an entire freeway, right? Because people have to get to work. So they would have to build the freeway just like they did in Matrix Reloaded, and they could have the freedom to do whatever they want. And I was thinking that if the freeway chase isn't the final battle, then the freeway chase can lead to the final battle, which will take place around the Grand Canyon, just like in G1. You know, in G1 they always had their battles in deserts with like giant, these giant Grand Canyon type like mountains. That's pretty much it. And these are the key elements that I would like to see in the Transformers reboot. I know these are very specific things, but it's not that much different from the very first movie, but nobody said that a reboot had to be completely different. I mean, look at what they're doing with Spider-Man. It's about the origins of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man again. You know, you don't have to change the story all that much, but these are the elements that I'd like to see. What do you think about that? What would you change, or what would you like to add to that? Leave what you got to say in the comment section below. This is Alex Yu, and thanks for watching the Ragin Ronin review. Peace.
Del nostro pianeta. Ci avete mentito. Avete commesso un grosso